A patrol in your own country has to feel weird versus, we're in a foreign land. Like, I'm looking at a soda can, like, that could be an IED. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Krangus once again with an episode of Ask a Marine. So this week, I know I promised you guys I would give y'all something about the Venezuelan bombings, but then a lot more news came out about that. I need a little bit more time to do some research as a professional intelligence analyst. But this week, what had happened was I drove up to Alabama to spend some time with my family. My uncle was there. My uncle is a retired Army and he was public affairs. He currently has a travel channel called 214 Overlanders, and that is who we're collaborating with right now. So make sure you give a like and subscribe to either my page or his page or both, honestly. His stuff is really great. The most zen thing you're going to find from an Army veteran out there. So give both of our pages a like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.
Yeah, perfect.
What you chose the outfit today.
It's called What I Had.
Yeah. It's like post-military fatigue. Like you want everybody to know that you were in the Army, but not really. You don't want to actually.
This is fatigue-like?
You don't want to it's like Vietnam era, kind of. But like,
I worry that's more LL Bean.
LL Bean is that?
I don't see it as military at all. I see this as I'm going to shoot a deer and then go to the mall later.
You think you're ever going to become one of those veterans that wear the "Give Me Attention" hat, like with the pins everywhere?
No, but I was on a recent cruise where, lo and behold, the military appreciation ceremony, you had all these people with all their hats. And for this particular ceremony, we got the question, why don't you have a hat?
Wow.
It's like, that's
what age do you think happens where the other veterans start demanding it?
I think it is a totally different generation that embraces the hat.
Yeah.
And then and they go all out. There's so many different varieties.
It's one thing when
you have like every campaign that you were ever involved with on your hat.
Yeah. It's one thing to do it like when you're at an actual ceremony, but like the dudes that go to Winn-Dixie, they're just walking around with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Thank
weird.
you for my service. Kind of hat. Yeah.
It could be just for the discounts, I guess, but there's never really been a time where I've the only time I ever really was like, okay, I need to make sure I get that discount was when my dad took me to Disneyland right before my first deployment.
And why is that?
Because Disney World gives you like a once a lifetime a discount of like up to 5 family members, which is exactly what we had.
Yeah.
Everybody gets like half off of the ticket price of the admission fee, and then also there's all kinds of discounts within you get like a little card. Your whole family gets like a little card, and they get all kinds of discounts everywhere they go within the park. So that was the only time that I was like, I got to make sure this discount works.
Screw that, man. That's every weekend for me at Lowe's.
Yeah.
Gotta get my 10%.
Well, I think maybe that's what the hat's for. Yeah. Maybe the hat is, you put the hat on and people just know.
Yeah.
I like it, like the Stolen Valor videos. I've been saying I want to do an episode on that.
Yeah.
How do you actually feel about those dudes?
It's really infuriating. Most of the time, it's so comical though that you just have to laugh. It's like, of course, there's going to be some degree of anger and frustration that this person will be trying to get over on somebody, whether it's sympathy, compassion, whatever, just trying to get some attention, or those discounts. But it's usually so absurd that you can't even be mad. It's like, you know what? Good on you for trying.
For me, it's like, there's definitely the people that are using it to try to get like a high-powered job, like that guy that was he saying that he had a Congressional Medal of Honor, and he got like a CEO position somewhere, and that's bad.
Yeah, that is
but
bad.
Like the average videos that I see where somebody is clearly severely autistic, and they're the parking lot of a Buc-ee's, and somebody's like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you serve?" And it's like, dude, leave this guy alone. His life is not good anyway.
Sometimes I just want the answer to be, well, I was on eBay, and I don't know. I started with a uniform. It was kind of put together.
Yeah.
But then it was suggesting all these other metals and things that I thought would go well with this attire.
It's like just a gay dude that's like trying to color coordinate.
I felt like I needed more flair. You know?
Yeah.
It's like the TGI Fridays of uniforms where I need more flair.
That's kind of what the military is fighting for more flair. I remember, like, as far as medals, like, when I served, it's weird, like, seeing people get out now and they don't even have a national defense. They don't even have the pizza stain.
Yeah.
And, like, me, it was, like, it got to a point where it was annoying because I'd log into MOL, Marine Online, for those of you who don't know. And you just suddenly have, like, a new medal and you're like, where'd that come from? And now my stack is, like, 9 deep and I got to rearrange everything on my uniform. And it kind of got annoying.
Yeah.
Whereas now people are like getting out and they don't have anything, but maybe a good conduct.
Yeah. And then, you know, those that are just, you know, that do have the old ribbon where, look at me, I'm a badass and you're not. You know, you don't have anything.
Yeah. I like the dudes that have like the combat action ribbon sticker on their truck.
Yes.
That guy is not the cool guy at the party.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with that guy.
I want everybody to know
that one time people shot at me.
Yes. One time people did. I was shot at. Yeah.
What was your first firefight like? I remember the first time I ever got a shot at. I remember the first split second thought in my head was like, dude, somebody ought to call the cops about those guys. I was like, oh shit, I'm the cops. I was like, had that mini freak out of my head, like, what are we doing here? Why are we not calling somebody? Oh, we're the people that they're going to call. Yeah.
The first time I was really engaged was actually a road rage incident at my first duty station. Oh, okay. But aside from that, no, the first time actually being under fire was, it was always IDF coming in at Mortaritaville, Anaconda.
Wow, you fought the Israeli Defense Force.
Indirect fire. Israeli defense. Yeah, that's exactly right.
This is my Uncle Dave, everybody. All right, Uncle Dave, he was in the Army. Obviously, you guys know I am.
He says that like he holds it against me, right?
Yeah. Well, he was part of the Israeli Defense Force, as we just discovered. Yes. But this is another episode of Ask a Marine. I am your host, Krangus, the rootinest, the tootinest, funniest Marine of a comedian you'll ever see on this side of the Gulf of America. And this is my guest star, my Uncle David Gillespie. We have the same last name. Check that out. Mm-hmm. Put it in your books.
I like how you say guest star, like I should have a green room or something.
We do. It's called the bedroom. We're at his mom's house, my grandma's house.
Oh, yes, we are. It's almost like you want to say Nana's house, but it's Mimi's, I guess.
Yeah, let me point out one thing about our family, because both sides of my family allowed me to name the grandma, and both of them ended up being Mimi, and it's caused nothing but awful confusion ever since then.
Yes.
Because I went from Mimi's house to Mimi's house yesterday. Yeah. Anyway, that's stuff that we'll cut.
However, in all fairness, that's an easy out for you when you make jokes about Mimi and you get questioned by a Mimi. Oh, no, that's other Mimi.
Yeah. So but you don't want...
That's clever.
You don't want other Mimi to hear that they're other Mimi, because then they get... Because the two Mimis have been in an eternal struggle to be the top Mimi.
Oh, there's a challenge.
Oh, yeah, there's been a challenge ever since. And you don't want one to hear that you called them the other Mimi.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be an alpha and a beta Mimi.
Wow.
We know who the alpha is.
I think we do.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of a legend in her own right.
I kind of want to get her on one of these.
I think that would be a great series, just having her making the instructional hot toddies. I remember the first time I was sick and she made a hot toddy, and it's like, how many different types of alcohol are you putting in this?
What's a hot toddy?
Well, and she would say, well, it's no worse than NyQuil. Okay.
Was Mimi giving you
Mom,
lean?
I'm 5. It's different when you're 5 and you're drinking that much alcohol.
Wait, did my grandma give you lean to get you to go to sleep?
Did you not have this experience? Did you not have like...
Maybe that's why I am the way I am. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe she did give, because I did live with her for a little
bourbon, bit. A little this, a little of that.
Man, oh my God. I have more tales to tell when I go home.
Make your own NyQuil.
Yeah. I have to you know what my grandma's become, because all my friends have met her.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like a legend in my friend group.
Yeah.
She can't be killed. I think she's immortal.
That's true.
Yeah. Somebody has to stop her at some point, and it ain't going to be me.
Which, not to bring up her health history, but there's always that thing where, that was last month when I had my heart attack, and blah. You had a heart attack and you didn't tell anybody?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she really downplays very serious.
I was in and out of the hospital. It was no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to die of a heart attack. I think it's going to be like she gets assassinated. I think that's going to actually be the thing that happens, and we're going to hear about it. She's going to call us first. I'm getting assassinated.
Yeah. Well, she's going to be on her deathbed. You know, she'll still survive the attack, and she'll be on her deathbed. I knew the mafia would catch up to me eventually for that incident in Bogota in 1994. Blah blah blah.
We might need to pitch the series to Netflix before somebody else takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to talking about our family enough. So now we did recently have 2 National Guard members get shot at DC, which, you know, it seems like an isolated incident to me, although we still don't really have any, as far as I know, any intel further on the motivations behind the guy that shot everybody. But it already is being used to fuel, you know, martyrdom on both sides. Like, this is why we deploy troops, and then other people are like, but this is why people are mad. But my whole point about all this is, I've been on deployment, you've been on deployment. We have a different viewpoint of what a patrol looks like. Nowadays, all these National Guard troops are getting deployed to our own cities. And I have to imagine that these guys that got shot at, and in one case killed, I have to imagine, like, what is their viewpoint going into it? Because, like, a patrol in your own country has to feel weird versus, you know, we're in a foreign land. Like, I'm looking at a soda can, like, that could be an IED.
Right.
And I don't feel like anybody's looking around, like, nobody's doing their 5s and 25s in Portland.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, how are they training these guys? You know?
I got to watch out for this giant frog or these people in inflatable suits that are, you know, dancing around. Yeah. It's a different perspective than being downrange someplace. But yeah, I know what you mean. It was sad and tragic that such a horrific thing would happen and happen in the nation's capital like that. But, you know, and of course it is very divisive. Why are these troops deployed in the first place? Yeah. And everybody has their different take on all of this. You know, oh, what a terrible city and da-da-da. Or, you know, it needs to be cleaned up. Versus, oh, well, the administration's just trying to get people accustomed to seeing troops everywhere, you know, whether they're going to be at polling stations in the future or wherever, you know, it becomes normalcy, you know. So there is all this chatter in the background behind all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you do have troops that are, you know, National Guard being deployed, as they say, into these cities, into U.S. cities. And really, in my mind, what comes first is they're acting in a capacity they're not trained for, because I know that if, for example, let's say I'm trained as a crew chief on a Chinook helicopter, and now you want to tell me to go to DC or one of these cities and patrol the streets, you know, sure, I've had a little bit of training in that, and but I'm not law enforcement. I don't have the law enforcement skills that I would need for that. I have the Chinook, you know, crew maintenance stuff I can do, but I don't have the. And
that's a really good point, because one of the things as a linguist that I did a lot of was it was a lot of times it was up to me to be the translator between the Afghan National Army, which is more federal in Afghanistan, or at least what we were trying to set up, and then the Afghan National Police, which is local, because you need both sides of that if you are actually fighting a counterinsurgency, which we aren't, but that's what Trump has in his head that we are doing, is fighting a make-believe counterinsurgency. But if you are going to do that, you need the ANA, or the federal troops to work with the local police, because the local police know the local populace. Right. And in a perfect case scenario, you need those two elements to work together.
And in a lot of cases here, you have resistance from not only the governor, where his own National Guard may be deployed, by federal authority. You know, that just right away just becomes, you know, a conflict within itself when you don't have the same kind of cooperation that you would expect. If a governor identified a need, hey, this city needs help, hey, federal government, can you assist in some way? Or simply where you have a situation where a city is in need of help and that state's governor actually deploys the National Guard to assist, and that would be the normal.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be used.
That's the way this would play out. So it becomes just so cumbersome when you have all this bureaucratic process, and then the divisiveness of the way that all of this unfolds. It's just ridiculous.
And I'm curious from an intelligence perspective, because one thing, like being with the counterintelligence human detachment, one like law, like the number one law was we aren't allowed to collect on American citizens, which is one of the reasons that like stateside our unit was like never had anything to do. Which we found out how to counteract that later because the E4 Mafia started taking over. But I wanted to ask you about that. Like, I got out as an E4.
Here we go.
So you got out as a what, Sergeant Major, Master Sergeant?
Yeah, Master Sergeant.
Yeah. So, well, your Master Sergeant is more of a. Master Sergeants are usually cool. They call them tops in the Army.
They can be, yeah.
Top. I mean, if you're cool. Like I said before, we didn't have a whole lot to do here in the state, like in the States. So like, it was real common for me to just have a dental appointment that I didn't go to.
Yeah.
Just drink at home all day. So how'd you deal with the E4? If you don't know, we're talking about the E4 Mafia, or in the Marine Corps, the Lance Corporal Underground. So how did you deal with that as the higher enlisted guy that's trying to...
First of all, let me just thank the E4 Mafia for some of the... the things I learned as an E4, I was later able to apply in deployments like Afghanistan, where, you hit certain parts of your day where you're just, I need a break. And you have that E4 mentality of, I'm going to have to go to my room and check my fan. I think I left my fan on, and you don't come back for an hour or two. You go catch a nap or whatever. But yeah, E4 Mafia is legendary. In fact, I just read about this one guy who, out of boredom, started up an OnlyFans. Not the kind that you would think.
Is that the fan you were checking?
That's... completely not the same thing, but OnlyFans, while we're on the subject of fans, OnlyFans, kid starts up an OnlyFans, which is more, humor and prank based than anything else. But suddenly, he's making 4 times the salary of his commander as an E4, and you can just imagine that kind of counseling that's taking place. Like, I just kind of have to respect your grind here, that's kind of different world.
Man, that wasn't when you were in. That's because
no. That's now.
That's like a whole new grift that we have nowadays. Yeah. The big thing that we did was when we had a changeover of command, we redid the one of the rooms. There was like an office room, and what we did was we put a wall of wall lockers, and all the wall lockers like against this wall covered that door. And then in one of the wall lockers that was above the door, we cut the back of it out and then locked it. And that became like our little hideout. We had like a bar in there. We had like liquor. Everybody kind of chipped in. And as far as I know, when I got out, nobody ever caught that.
Wow.
I'm sure somebody did eventually when they started rearranging stuff. But for a long time, that was like our little speakeasy, like a true speakeasy.
You have to imagine, though, that everyone knew. Everyone just kind of looked the other way. They had to know what was going on, right?
I'm not going to discuss actual crimes on this podcast.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
There is a statute of limitations that may not have run out yet.
Well,
so, yeah.
I don't want you to think of me any different. We also had this was a weird one. When I first got to my duty station, we checked into the barracks, and you know how like every deck, well, I don't know how it worked for y'all, but like every deck has like a lounge area. We had on the second deck, which is kind of where, because everybody kind of picks one deck to party at. I don't know why, but the second deck lounge was like the party spot. And there was a guy that like lived on the couch. It was a guy that got out and then like kind of didn't have anywhere to go, so we just let him, like we hit him basically in the lounge. And anytime there was a duty inspection, like whoever was on duty, it was their responsibility to call in case the OOD showed up. Yeah. So he would like go and hide in the other deck. Wow. So he like lived in our barracks for like months before he eventually found another home.
Isn't it interesting to you that there are some things that are common no matter what service? Like, for example, barracks bunny. Yeah. Why does that exist? It's everywhere, and everybody knows what you're talking about.
I used to see civilian girls at the barracks parties, and it'd be like, "Get out! This place isn't for you." It was like,
"This is not for you.
You shouldn't be here."
Yeah.
I felt like I was. Barracks buddies were a thing.
Yeah.
Crimes.
So
the E4 Mafia. What'd you do about it? Because eventually you pick up rank. And now looking back, it's like, well, shit. I mean, at one point you were a part of the E4 Mafia, and then you lived long enough to become the enemy.
Yeah, it's
you didn't
weird
die the hero.
You know, you enter this almost like a dad aspect of, look, I can appreciate the hustle here, but you can't be getting away with that.
Yeah.
You know you can't do that.
Any specific stories?
No. I don't know if the statute of limitations have run out on those, so I'm going to let it lie.
All right. Well, I don't know. Anyway, back to deployments. We got Portland, we've got Los Angeles. Are those deployments even going on right now? I know the DC thing's going on, obviously, but
yeah, DC's going on, which had just been extended through February when this incident took place. And now I understand that they're actually ramping up to kind of double down and send another 500. So be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I do know one thing. Are we going to use drones? That's like the main way war is fought nowadays.
Yeah,
we're going to use drones. I never thought that we'd get to a point where drones are now toys for children. But I guess most innovations in the world started as a military innovation and then ended up being...
That's almost helpful for a recruiter. Oh, you've used a drone before. Well, I've got a job for you.
Oh, man. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got when I went to the recruiter, like he saw me because it's like a used car deal. And he's like looking at me and he has like the little packages of different jobs I can be. And I see Intel and 19-year-old me is like, I'm thinking like James Bond stuff, you know, and he sees that's the look in my eye and he's like, oh yeah, dude, we're going to pick Intel. We'll pack you up, put a beard on you. You'll be slaying bodies, bro. Like that's the way that my recruiter laid it out. Yeah. And then 2 years later, I was really good at Microsoft Excel.
There you go. You can do a mean spreadsheet.
Yeah, I can do some spreadsheets. Yeah. Well, I was a linguist too. That's the weird thing about being in my job. It was like you had to do a lot of spreadsheets, but then they'd still make you go out because I was a linguist.
Yeah.
I had to do all that stuff. We had an incident. I want to know some deployment stories from you, and I'll start with one with you. Because I've been wanting to tell you this for a while, but I wanted to wait till we could record. So, forgot about this until recently. We had so drones that they use. When most people think of a drone like that's used in the military, you think of what? Like what platform are you thinking typically?
You would think like a DJI or something like
that.
Like
a Predator or a Reaper. Or something. Something like high speed, you know, that has missiles. But people don't realize in the Marine Corps, we didn't have, we had some of those, but we also, because we don't have the budget, we had to use what was called the Wasp. You ever heard of those?
Yes.
It's like a paper airplane, basically. Yeah. You literally have to, the guy that's the pilot is literally just throwing it like a paper airplane. That's how they launch.
Yeah.
And we used a lot of those because they're really cheap, although...
But it's really great just seeing around the corner or over the hill.
The only problem is it sounds like a lawnmower in the sky, so anybody planting an idea is
more like a weed whacker.
Yeah, it's awful. So, but we had 100 of these things. They're very inexpensive. I mean, the whole platform's like $5,000, I think. They're really cheap. But, we're in rural Afghanistan, Helmand province. I know you served in Kabul. That's a little bit more high speed than Helmand. Helmand is the Alabama of Afghanistan. Yeah. And we were, one of our WASP platforms went down, and this is a place that they had, it's almost one step above an uncontacted tribe. That's the people of Helmand province, Afghanistan. It's all just poppy fields, and that's what they've done all their lives, going back to great-great-great-grandparents. Just grow poppy. Yeah. So one of our platforms go down, and we find it, and we go to retrieve it, and it's in this village, friendly part of the town, and this drone is on top of a mound with red carpet leading up to it and lights, and we're thinking, are they worshiping it or something? That's what we were thinking, okay, because that wasn't stories like that weren't uncommon. There was a whole story about they thought there was a mystical tree man that would kill people, and we found out it was a scout sniper with a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
So they would put mythical attributes on things that we did.
Oh wow!
But they had the drone on top of us. So we're thinking, with the red carpet, are they worshiping it? And so I asked the elder that came out. Now this is a person that's in charge of people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was curious. Why'd you put it on top of this mound with the car? And he's like, oh well, we were thinking that the mouse that pilots it would find its way back into the pilot seat.
Oh man. The mouse.
I was like, I got back. I was like, which one of y'all told him about Stuart Little?
Yeah, really.
Which one of y'all showed him that movie? Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it was how they thought we were. I wish we had the capabilities that they thought we had.
Yeah.
Mice piloted drones. Imagine the MOS school for that.
Mm-hmm.
Be fantastic.
Yeah. Do you remember when the first drones were being used? And they were kind of rushed out the door so quickly that there was no thought about any encryption of the video or anything else. And people have this idea, that your enemy there is just from the Stone Age or something. They don't realize that there is a certain level of intelligence that your enemy has. And sure enough, within months, they were actually pulling in the same feed that our guys were receiving that shows the video. They were pulling in video feeds from predators.
They're able to
it's
see.
unencrypted.
Wow.
And you can just imagine the conversation those guys were having. Dude, isn't that our house?
Yeah.
Dude, that's our house.
Yeah.
They're on their way here.
It's probably the same conversation in Portland right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's shooting up like, dude, is that our house?
Yeah.
Of course, they're encrypted now, but now they see a wasp fly, drop and they think that it's like a needle depository.
Yeah.
You ever been to like Seattle or like Washington State? Where there's,
Yes.
all the gas stations have like the needle suppositories for.
Yes, absolutely. You feel like you're at CVS or something. With the diabetes people with the needle drops and stuff. Yeah.
So you got any good stories?
You know what? You mentioned how you were recruited and how you picked your MOS and everything. Let me just tell you a little bit about mine. So when I came in, I was really hesitant. I went years, flirting with the idea of coming in. And when I did, the recruiter gave me this pretty little magazine book. Just pick 5 different jobs in here and I'll get you one of them. And you flip through this book and it's crazy stuff. Cinematographer. Really? I can make movies? A cinematographer? There was a sound and lighting technician. Like, I'm going to go do this for the Army for 2 years, then I'm going to be a roadie for Metallica. This is great. There were all these crazy jobs in there. And they just, when I showed up and I asked for these 5 things, of course it was just the blank, like, those don't exist. What? Which actually do exist, but the recruiter doesn't have, quite the eyes on those kind of things.
Because he's probably a former grunt.
Those aren't the positions they're trying to fill,
Yeah.
So
recruiting is a B billet for Army, right?
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot.
Okay. That's a whole lot. Yeah. But yeah, bottom line is I came in and I wanted to be a photographer, so I came in public relations, which they led me to believe that this position was a photographer position, and instead it's public relations, which the Army lumped into that category of, okay, so you're going to be able to write for a newspaper, you're going to do writing, editing, graphics, design. As you go up, you're going to be doing, video stuff, you're going to do radio, the whole 9, as well as public relations. Like, you put everything involved with journalism, you put it into one ball of wax, and that's what this position was, but I couldn't be more thankful for every opportunity that it gave to me. By the time I finished school and everything else and got to my first assignment, within 2 weeks I was at the White House, and I'm looking around at Andrea Mitchell and the other people like,
you mean the deployment zone right now? That's
yeah, the deployment zone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're deployed to DC.
The area formerly known as the East Wing. So I'm in DC, and I was stationed in DC, and my first job was at the White House, and it was an amazing opportunity. And when you look around and think, these people have worked like 30 years to get to a certain status level to be able to be a White House correspondent, and here I am, 2 weeks on the job, boom.
Yeah.
Dropped off at the gate, you're cleared to go.
See, for Intel, it works that way, but you're like, wait, I'm 22 years old and like that. All right. Now there's a deployment in the bedroom. So
yes.
I'm 22 years old and I have like millions of Pakistani rupees in my little suitcase that I'm supposed to drop off to some source in like on the border of Pakistan. Like they're entrusting a 22-year-old with this. I remember I had to be the courier for our team. And Triple E is the money we pay. Because really all that we did was, it was the same thing as like in Memphis, you got 826 cash, which is like, you snitch on people. That's what we were just making snitches. And I remember one time, the first time I got the suitcase that had like all of our, I can't remember what that's called, but our encryption stuff. What was that called? Anyway, encryption, and then we had like a bunch of money to pay the sources. And I was like, I asked the guy that I was checking it out with, I was like, aren't you supposed to like handcuff my hand to the suitcase? And he was like, well, I guess we could, but if the Taliban catches you, they're just going to cut your hand off.
They're only going to cut your hand off.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
That's what you want. You
might as well just count your blessings and you maybe keep a hand.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Just don't lose it, I guess.
Yeah. Weren't you amazed at seeing massive pallets of cash?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I walked into a warehouse and saw just pallet after pallet of cash.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we're doing business here. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what speaks out there.
And I'm sure it was all properly accounted for.
Come on, there's nobody in Helmand Province, Afghanistan that has a debit card.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So that's why we had to have so much cash.
Yeah. Well, I think Mimi's animals are telling us it's time to wrap up. Are you kidding?
Wow.
Like fake banter.
Yeah, I didn't realize what I was requesting until I saw the outcome.
Well, good luck with your little podcast.
You remember my Aunt Kay one time when she was visiting, she came back. I came back from a mic that night. I swear to God, she goes, "How did your little recital go?"
Yeah,
I was like, "That you're trying to piss me off now." Recital, like I'm an 8-year-old tap dancer.
Yeah.